Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here with OddsJam. We got a nice slate of NBA games today. Also a good slate of college basketball, great slate of NBA as well. But in this video, we are going to be focusing on the NBA, and I'm giving you my NBA player prop best bets for today. So because this is the weekend, it's a Saturday, the games are being played a little bit early, so I'm not going to dilly-dally as much, gonna get right into it. The only thing that I'll say is that I would appreciate, for those of you watching, if you could like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then if you want to hit me up on social media, you can at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here, Jedi Modi. Link to it is in the description of the video and in a pinned comment as well. Let's get into it. Play number one, we're looking at Markelle Fultz to go over 5.5 assists. This play is at plus 125 odds at bet365. So when it comes to positive expected value betting, you're getting a mathematical edge over the sportsbook you're placing the bet with. And in this case, the mathematical edge is between the oddsjam perfect line and then the sportsbook we're placing the bet at is bet365. Now, what's really, really important to understand in terms of the concept behind positive expected value betting is everything that is under the no vig odds column here. So I filtered specifically for the NBA, specifically for NBA player props, and it pulls up a bunch of sharp, mathematically profitable player props, right? And everything in terms of value and profitability is derived from these no vig odds here. So I have a video on my YouTube channel detailing positive expected value betting and why those no vig odds are so important and so powerful. I won't go into it too much in this video, but if you want a much more detailed description of it, I recommend checking that out. All you really need to know for the purposes of this video is that these no vig odds represent the most accurate line of a market. In this case, the Markelle Fultz player assist. You can view these no vig odds as the true line, the perfect line for what this market should be priced at. These numbers, these odds you see here, in this case, the plus 117, they're pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world in terms of pricing odds, right? The sportsbooks that consistently do the best job. That's why this is so powerful. So basically, if you think about it from like a holistic view, what this betting opportunity represents is the perfect line, the most accurate line of a market is pricing this at plus 117. We are getting better odds. And when I say better, I just mean like more favorable for us as the sports bettor placing the bet at bet365, a full almost 8 cents higher than the oddsjam perfect line. So the gap between these two numbers, the no vig odds and the odds of the bet we're placing, is where your profitability comes in. So the bigger the gap between these two numbers, the bigger edge you have over the sportsbook. And that edge is actually calculated in this percent here. In this case, 3.55%. This can also be viewed as your percent of expected value, can also be viewed as your expected profit margin for every positive expected value play as well. Now, I don't avoid plays that have lower percents. We'll get into that in a little bit, but that is what the percent on the left here represents, your percent edge. What I do, though, when I'm positive expected value betting, and I don't lock in every single play that shows up here, I try to look and do a little bit more research. And what I mean by that is I do research in terms of looking at where other sportsbooks are pricing the same exact market, right? Our play, Bet365, is at plus 125. Well, let's compare those plus 125 odds to every other sportsbook, right? And there are two sportsbooks that are kind of close. BetMGM at plus 120, Caesars at plus 118. Every other book, we see odds range all the way from like minus 105, minus 107, up to plus 110. And that plus 110 is still 15 cents below the Bet365 number. Now, when it comes to player props specifically, FanDuel and DraftKings are better on player props specifically than they are on main markets. So I give them a little bit heavier weight only with player props. Now, that's not to say that they're viewed as like the sharp sportsbook that sets lines. I will still lock in a player prop that's on DraftKings or FanDuel if it's good compared to the rest of the market. But I do like to look at those two. So this plus 125 beats the fair line of both of these books. FanDuel at minus 102, DraftKings at plus 105. BetOnline is always a sharp sports book, always given heavyweight at plus 110. Pinnacle, also always a sharp sports book, always given heavyweight at plus 103. So all in all, this number at Bet365, plus 125, very good. Play number 1, Fultz over 5.5 assists. Play number 2, and this one is on FanDuel. So again, I don't avoid plays on FanDuel or DraftKings if they're good compared to the rest of the market. And this one is Julius Randle, play number 2, Julius Randle over 4.5 assists, plus 118 at FanDuel. So I also mentioned that I don't avoid EV plays at a lower percent, like this one is 0.72, but this plus 118 is still a good play when you compare it to the rest of the markets. So it should still be locked in, right? It shouldn't be avoided just because there's a lower EV percent. Plus 118 at FanDuel. PointsBet and Bet Rivers are kind of close at plus 107 and plus 105. But look elsewhere. Minus 105, minus 111, minus 105, plus 100. And then the sharp books, right? BetOnline, plus 100. Pinnacle, minus 102. And then FoxBet, Betway, also at plus 100. This plus 118 beats the fair odds of majority of sports books. So that makes it a profitable betting opportunity and something that we should lock in. And when it comes to positive expected value betting, volume is the most important thing. Now, for these videos, I can only get in between like 2 and 5, something like that. But in reality, when I'm placing bets over the course of a day, I have like 25, 30, sometimes up to like 45, 50, depending on how heavy the sports day it is. So you have to understand when you're positive expected value betting that variance is going to happen. You're going to have high highs and you're going to have low lows. As long as you have an iron stomach to get over those low lows, it's something that will be profitable in the long run, as long as you are doing the right things, right? Placing bets from the EV page, looking into every play to make sure you have an outlier. I'm confident you will be profitable in the long run and to not get discouraged when you're having some of those down days, because that's just the nature of sports betting. Sports are unpredictable. So the third play, another one on FanDuel that we're locking in, Josh Giddey under 6.5 assists. This is at minus 106 odds at FanDuel. So the EV percent, again, it's lower, but this is still a really good play. Minus 106 at FanDuel. PointsBet's close at minus 110. And that's pretty much it, right? Look across the board where every sportsbook prices it. Minus 135, minus 133, minus 130, minus 135. DraftKings at minus 130, minus 122, 16 cents lower. We can ignore these three, Prize Picks and Underdog, because they're DFS sites. Then we have minus 134, minus 130. On Pinnacle, minus 134, mind you. So this minus 106 is a good play compared to the rest of the markets. So we are locking it in. Josh Giddey under 6.5 assists. And then I have one more play for you guys, another one on FanDuel. Tyus Jones under 7.5 assists, plus 114 odds at FanDuel, giving us a percent here of 0.32, right? OddsJam perfect line at about plus 113. But the most important thing, as always, is to compare the FanDuel line with the rest of the sports books. PointsBet plus 105, Bet Rivers plus 106, every other book minus 105, minus 108, minus 110, minus 115, minus 105. Looking at the sharp ones, BetOnline minus 101, Pinnacle minus 110, DraftKings minus 105. All in all, giving us a good play on this Tyus Jones under assists market, rounding out these player props for today. So I got 4 NBA player props for you guys today, Saturday, March 11th. Definitely recommend locking in all 4. And that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter. And happy betting, happy watching, and have a good one.